And what a laughable thing to say this is a humanitarian crisis. Just incredible. We've got affluent Democrats up there who just simply don't realize the real world that we have at the southern border of our country because of policies by their Democrat leadership. Let me tell you, if these mayors and these people up there, from Washington, D.C. to New York City, Chicago, and now Martha's Vineyard, if they have a problem, what they should be doing is picking up the telephone and calling the President of the United States and demand that he close the southern border, because this is where the problem is emanating from. And, I'll give you an example. Eagle Pass, Texas, a population of 30,000 people, Bianca, and they got 10,000 migrants in a single week down there. And they're griping about 50 people that have come into their midst and saying they don't have the infrastructure. And Hillary Clinton also called it human trafficking. It's hard to wrap your mind around the hypocrisy of a crisis that the Democrat Party created themselves. Unbelievable.
I agree. And, we just heard from that woman who lives on the Vineyard. I grew up in Massachusetts, but I've also been to the border. I've been to Roma. I've seen the massive amounts of people that are just coming in across your state. I have family in Dallas, so I see it from both ends. And to hear her say that they have a housing crisis, Congressman, when we know off-season their mansions go empty and you don't have room in morgues. Dead bodies are piling up at some places in Texas because there's nowhere to put migrants who are drowning. It must be infuriating for you.
It is very infuriating. And I think this is why you're seeing South Texas Hispanics going whole all the way in for Republican candidates. I think you're going to see this continue in November. And it's just so outrageous that Joe Biden is claiming that these Republican governors are playing politics. And he should be playing president is what he should be doing. Illegal aliens are costing the U.S. taxpayers more than $20 billion a year. That's with a B. Biden has released up to 2 million people in our country. 4 million have already come in under his watch. Terrorists are taking advantage of this open border that Biden has left this way. 66 terrorists on a watch list individuals have already been caught. How many haven't been caught? And as you said, dead people are being found down there. I think it's up to 748 dead migrants here. So the policies of Joe Biden and Alejandro Mayorkas they're killing Americans and also migrants themselves. Over 100,000 Americans dead from overdoses, most of which is fentanyl coming in from China through Mexico, being controlled by the cartels. 100,000 plus dead Americans because of this. This is an all-out invasion, and I'll tell you, the Democrat Party is responsible for it, and they're going to pay, I think, in November.
Yeah, but meantime, we have very little answers. No one's pressing them in mainstream media about what's going on at the border. We want to play a little bit of Karine Jean-Pierre, Congressman, and what she said when she was asked about the invasion. This was her response yesterday.
What we stand by is that we are doing everything that we can to make sure that that we follow the process that's been put forth. That's why we have historic funding to do just that, to make sure that to make sure that the folks that we encounter at the border be removed.
She has trouble getting the words out there. Your reaction?
Yeah, she comes from boss, I guess, from Joe Biden. My reaction is that she is the most incompetent, inept press secretary or press agent that the White House has had probably in its history. Obviously, she doesn't know what's going on. If she does, she's just absolutely not telling the truth. We know exactly what's happening down at the border. It's a intentional opening of our border to get millions of new people into the United States of America. We know they're trying to put these people on a path to citizenship and to the vote. And it is so transparent what they're doing. I think anybody who looks at an honest newscast, and this is the problem, Bianca. We don't have that many news outlets that are like Newsmax, where people can look and see what's going on at the border and see the hypocrisy of the Democratic Party, because they just simply hide it, they black it out, and do not report the truth. This is the 17th consecutive month of this president's administration where we've had 150,000 plus encounters, people coming across this border. It just can't continue. They're destroying our country.
Well, they are, and thank you for that nod. Obviously, we're all about truth and transparency here at Newsmax, where we do want to share the actual facts of what is happening, especially along our border. Just about a minute left, but I do want to get you to respond to something that California Gavin Newsom's asking the DOJ to investigate. He said they should go after kidnapping charges for Governor DeSantis and Abbott. We're in a position now where a lot of people are saying the DOJ is already, weaponized here. What do you make of Newsom now saying, yes, go after them for kidnapping? These people are here illegally, Congressman.
Bianca, you could not be more accurate. The kidnapping, the child sex trade, putting people really into serfdom, modern day slavery, if you will. This is what this open Biden border and these Biden-Mayorkas policies are doing. I've been to the border as the co-chair of the House Border Security Caucus. I've asked HHS officials when they tell us that they're taking these children, these unaccompanied children called UACs, and they are keeping them impounded in these HHS facilities, and then they say they rapidly send them to be reunited with their families all around the country. And I asked a simple question: are you doing criminal background checks on these families? Are you doing DNA checks to see if indeed these children are related and are family members? These are family members that they are being sent to. And I got a negative answer on both of those. They have no idea who these people are. Many of them are illegally here themselves, and they are creating probably the largest child sex rings and criminal activities that this country's ever seen.
Congressman,